pressing security dynamics we currently face, I have taken the liberty to adjust the topic slightly. And therefore, the topic will be multiplicity of operations in Nigeria, a comprehensive approach to addressing contemporary security threats. So let me go straight to the lecture. The current scale and complexity of modern conflicts across the world underscores the significant role that military operations play in restoring and maintaining peace and stability. Globally, nations have continued to implement strategies to minimize the effect of security threats on the economic and diplomatic relations of one another. For instance, the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war has dramatically reshaped the security landscape of Eastern Europe, with reports indicating that the conflict has claimed about 12,456 civilian lives and injured about 28,382 others as of 31st December of last year. Equally compelling is the recent surge in hostilities in the Israel-Palestine conflict since 7th October 2023, where escalations have resulted in the death of over 1,200 Israeli and 47,000 Palestinian civilians, further destabilizing an already volatile region. Meanwhile, across Africa, United Nations missions in the Central African Republic, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, South Sudan, and the ECOWAS mission in the Gambia exemplify the continent's proactive stance in countering insurgency and civil unrest. Within Nigeria itself, military operations are currently being conducted across all geopolitical zones to address our nation's dynamic security challenges. In the Northeast, for instance, Operation Hatinkai and the Multinational Joint Task Force have been at the forefront of decimating insurgent networks to ensure peace and stability. The Northwest is equally being impacted by Operation Fansanyama, where troops are actively dismantling banditry and kidnapping networks, thereby restoring peace to vulnerable communities. Similarly, Operations Delta Safe in the South-South region continue to neutralize militants and economic saboteurs who vandalize critical national infrastructures, while separatist agitators and non-state actors in the Southeast are constantly being dealt with by the gallant troops operating under Operation Udoka. Unfortunately, despite the notable successes so far recorded by these operations, prevailing security threats continue to persist and cast their shadows across the nation. This enduring insecurity not only disrupts daily livelihoods and instills widespread fear among citizens, it also hampers economic livelihoods and instills widespread fear among citizens. It also hampers economic progress, discourages investment, and diminishes our overall standard of living. It has thus become imperative to adopt a more comprehensive approach to secure our nation against non-state actors and ensure a prosperous future for Nigerians. It is therefore to propose a comprehensive approach to mitigate contemporary security threats across Nigeria. The lecture will cover conceptual clarifications, an overview of contemporary security threats in Nigeria, and the impact of these security threats on Nigeria's developmental trajectory. I will also review the achievements of ongoing military operations across the country, examine some challenges currently impeding the effectiveness of our security agencies, and suggest ways to enhance our nation's security posture. The aim of this lecture is to assess contemporary security threats across Nigeria with a view to recommending a comprehensive approach to mitigate them. Let's go straight to conceptual clarifications. To put this lecture in the proper perspective, the concepts of multiplicity of operations and contemporary security threats will be briefly explained. Multiplicity of operations. Multiplicity of operations refers to the strategic deployment of military forces to conduct several coordinated operations simultaneously in different regions. This approach is designed to address the unique tactics to each operational environment. By operating concurrently in multiple theaters, the operational environment by operating concurrently in multiple theaters, the military ensures a rapid and focused response to regional threats while capitalizing on shared intelligence and response to regional threats. While capitalizing on shared intelligence and resource coordination, thereby creating a robust and dynamic security framework. At its core, the concept of multiplicity of operations underscores the importance of flexibility and adaptability in modern military strategy. It allows the armed forces to efficiently allocate resources and expertise to where they are most needed while maintaining a coherent national defense posture. This multifaceted strategy mitigates the risk of a security vacuum in any particular region and reinforces a nation's resilience against evolving threats. A good example of this concept will be the Second World War, which was fought in different theaters and on different fronts. The Second World War itself had the European theater, the Pacific theater, and the Southeast Asian theater. Now, these three theaters involved a series of campaigns. For the Western theater, for the Western front, it had the European front, the Eastern Front, and the North African campaign. These were the three fronts in the European front. While in the Pacific theater, you had the wars that were fought in the Pacific, mainly naval battles involving the US and Japan, fought in the Pacific Ocean around several islands. And also, you had the Southeast Asian theater. The Southeast Asian theater, of course, involved multiple operations ranging from those in the Philippines, in Thailand, in Indochina, in Burma, India, Malaya, and Singapore. So it was the aggregation of all these individual campaigns that were able to bring an end to the war by each of the forces understanding their responsibilities and working against the tide of the Axis forces. Now, let's look at contemporary security threats. Contemporary security threats refers to the modern multifaceted challenges that arise from non-state actors, such as insurgents, bandits, kidnappers, and other criminal groups. Unlike conventional state-on-state conflicts, contemporary threats are characterized by their asymmetrical nature and the complex motivations driving them. They often exploit weaknesses in governance, economic disparity, and social fragmentation, leveraging unconventional tactics to destabilize communities and erode public confidence in state institutions. The term contemporary underscores the evolving nature of these security threats in an increasingly interconnected and rapidly changing world. So today's non-state actors are not only well-armed and resourceful, but also adept at using technology and global networks to further their objectives. They continuously refine their strategies to exploit emerging vulnerabilities, making it difficult for conventional security apparatuses to counter them effectively. The dynamic environment demands that national security strategies be equally innovative and flexible, ensuring that responses are not only reactive but also proactive. An overview of contemporary security threats in Nigeria. The relative peace enjoyed by the Nigerian people after a civil war which lasted for 2.5 years came to a sudden end in the early years of the 21st century. The fragility of the nation was revealed by a quick succession of one crisis after another as various organized criminal groups began to emerge and pose a grave threat to national security. The last 15 years have been characterized by death, destruction of properties, and displacement of people in virtually every part of the country and parts of the West African sub-region. In the northeast, insurgency and terrorism perpetrated by Boko Haram terrorists and the Islamic State in West African province, otherwise known as ISWAP, continue to destabilize the region, while the northwest grapples with the surge in banditry and cattle rustling. Militancy in the Niger Delta further undermines economic viability by targeting critical oil infrastructure, while widespread kidnappings and abductions across the country erode public confidence and local economies. In addition, escalating ethnic and communal conflicts continue to deepen societal divisions, just as cross-border infiltration and smuggling facilitates the illicit flow of arms and contraband goods. Compounding these issues are the emerging cyber threats and the misuse of technology for propaganda and recruitment, adding an obscene layer of complexity to Nigeria's enduring security challenges. These contemporary and geopolitical zones, deep-rooted ethnic communal conflicts, cross-border smuggling, and the evolving menace of cyber threats collectively create a complex and volatile security landscape. Over the years, these challenges have immersed the nation in an unprecedented asymmetric warfare that continues to drain its resources. The impact of these security threats on Nigeria's development has been profound and far-reaching. Continued insecurity has stunted economic growth by eroding investor confidence and reducing domestic foreign investments. In addition, critical national infrastructure continues to suffer from both direct attacks by criminal elements and chronic underinvestment as scarce resources are diverted to the security sector. Furthermore, public and social services, notably education and healthcare, are frequently disrupted, undermining human capital development. Similarly, ethno-religious fragmentation and mass displacement have sown mistrust and deepened societal divides, impeding the state's ability to implement sustainable developmental policies. Amidst these ensuing security threats, ongoing military operations have made significant strides in restoring stability to key regions of the country. Targeted and intelligence-driven operations have successfully neutralized insurgent and criminal networks, reduced the frequency of attacks, and dismantled the operational capabilities of violent extremists and non-state actors. Improved intelligence gathering methods and surveillance have increased responses to emerging threats, while enhanced security measures continue to protect national assets. Additionally, efforts at strengthening community engagements are rebuilding trust between the armed forces and local populations, thereby creating a conducive environment for socio-economic development. These achievements notwithstanding, Nigeria's security agencies continue to face substantial challenges that impede their overall effectiveness. Persistent resource constraints marked by insufficient funding, inadequate equipment, and poor infrastructure severely limit operational readiness and rapid force deployment. Inadequate training and capacity building initiatives also leave security personnel ill-equipped to tackle modern asymmetric threats, while corruption and bureaucratic inefficiencies erode the integrity and morale of the nation's security apparatus. Furthermore, gaps in interagency collaboration and intelligence sharing, compounded by political interference and weak community engagements, undermine the capability of security agencies to execute coordinated and timely responses across the nation. To comprehensively address these contemporary security threats, a multifaceted strategy is essential. Adequate resource allocation is needed to acquire modern technology and improve logistical capabilities, while continuous investments in training and capacity building would better prepare security personnel for contemporary security challenges. Establishing robust oversight mechanisms through independent audits would curb corruption and bureaucratic inefficiencies, just as enhanced interagency collaboration would ensure a more coordinated response to security threats. Additionally, Institutionalizing operational autonomy would insulate security agencies from political pressures. Similarly, proactive community engagement programs would help build trust and foster collaborative partnership with local populations. Collectively, these comprehensive approaches would provide a comprehensive strategic blueprint for restoring national security and promoting sustainable development across Nigeria. I recommend the following. A, allocate adequate resources to security agencies. B, invest in training and capacity building. C, establish robust oversight mechanisms. D, strengthen interagency intelligence sharing. E, institutionalize operational autonomy. And F, implement community engagement programs. This brings me to the end of my lecture. The references are shown, I believe, on the screen. And